In this video, we are going to talk about factoring the sum or difference of cubes. And so let's get started with this first expression. Notice that 8 breaks into 2 times 2 times 2, x breaks into x, 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 and 1 breaks into 1, 1, 1. Also notice that we have subtraction. With cubes, we can have the sum or difference. Okay, so I've broken out the 8 into 2, 2, 2, the x into x, 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 the 1 into 1, 1, 1. And now we move forward with factoring this. There's always 2 terms in the first parenthesis and 3 terms in the last parenthesis. The last symbol will always be positive every time. So into the front, I go up above. This is considered the front, and this is the back. The front, I take 1 unit or 1 term from each. So I have 2 and an x, and I place them in front. The 1 comes from the back, it goes in back, and I drop in the symbol, in this case subtraction, that was in between the 2 terms. Now I've used a 2 and an x and a 1. Let's move on. I have 2 2's left. Make sure we're multiplying them. 2 times 2 is 4. X times x is x squared. This comes from the front, it's placed in the front. This comes from the back, it's placed in back. 1 times 1 is 1. What goes into this position and what's the symbol? These 2 symbols will always be opposite. So once you decide what the symbol is, the next symbol will be opposite. In order to achieve what goes into this open blank, open space, we're just going to multiply these and not worry about the signs. 2x times 1 is 2x, and there we have it. Okay, here's the next one. 27x cubed plus 125. 27 breaks into 3 times 3 times 3. X breaks into x times x times x. 125 breaks into 5 times 5 times 5. Remember, I always have 2 terms in the first parenthesis and 3 terms in the second. Bless you, this comes from the front and this comes from the back. So a 3 and an x comes from the front, a 5 comes from the back. Bless you. Notice that the symbol here is addition. So let's go ahead and let's just determine what this symbol is. Well, if this was addition, this has to be subtraction. I've used a 3 and an x, and I used a 5. So I have 2 remaining 3's. We do not add them. We always multiply. 3 times 3 is 9. X times x is x squared. This comes from the front. It goes into the front. This comes from the back, and we multiply and place it in back. Now, how do I determine this term? We're going to multiply these. 3x times 5 is 15x. Alright, if you are currently in class or watching this video, I'd like you to write down the third and final practice problem, and I'd like you to try it. 64 subtract 1x cubed. I'm trying to trick you here. 64 subtract 1x cubed. 64 subtract 1x cubed. I'm going to give you a chance to try this, and then I'm going to come back and finish it. Alright, if you're back with me, the only thing that's in the front is the 4, the 1 and the x's are in back, and that's the confusing part. So only the 4 goes into the front spot, and a 1 and an x goes in the back because it comes from the back. This particular problem has a subtraction between the front 2 terms, and so if I have subtraction here, the opposite will be addition. 4 times 4 is 16, not 8. We're not adding, we're multiplying. 1 times 1 is 1, and x times x is x squared. In this position, we're going to multiply these 2 and not worry about the symbol.